Say hi. Okay, so my story on how I was diagnosed. My son Milo was born a year and a half ago, and with him came gestational diabetes, preeclampsia, a C-section, and a really long labor that was really not fun. But after he was born, a month later, I went back to have my A1C checked, and an A1C is an average of the blood sugars for the past 3 months. It's a percentage, and the percentage they want you at is below 5.7. So I went to have my A1C. My A1C was 5.7, which my doctor said, okay, just come back in 3 months again and we'll take another one, see where you're at. So I went home, I ate however I wanted to. I didn't really do anything. I wanted to see if really how I ate affected it, because how you eat really shouldn't affect your blood sugar. If you have a working pancreas, you should be fine. You might gain weight, but you should be fine. So I just ate how I wanted. I went back, my A1C was 5.9. He said, okay, you have pre-diabetes. I want you to go home and start eating better and exercising. And then in 3 months, come back and we'll take another one. I had to pay a $20 copay for him to tell me that, and it just was no help at all. So I went home and I never went back. I never checked my blood sugar. There was no use because I had no help. I was just thrown into this by myself, and I could have followed the gestational diabetes diet, but it's so stressful because you don't have any insulin when you're trying to balance these blood sugars, so you're avoiding carbs. Everything you think about is, oh, I need to exercise, I need to only eat this much, I need to eat 6 small meals, I can't eat too much, I can't eat what I want, no sugar, no milk. It was just too much. So I didn't go back. My sister and I got into running, and that's when I started noticing myself losing weight. I lost 30 pounds in 2 months. I was drinking a lot of water, which I thought, oh, I'm running. Drinking water is good, so I'll drink water. But with that came a lot of peeing all the time, like 3 times in an hour sometimes. And it was like massive amounts of pee. It was weird, and I was mentioning it to Kent, but I'm like, I am drinking a lot of water, so I guess it makes sense. And I would drink water like I had never had a drink of water before. It was just so good. And then after I was done, it felt like I didn't even drink anything. Like I needed another glass of water right away. And so I would just drink water all the time. I also started noticing I had blurry vision when I was driving with my glasses on. It was weird, but it wasn't so bad enough to be like, oh, I need new glasses, because it was only sometimes. And then I also was eating a lot and losing weight. It didn't make sense, but it was kind of cool. So the day I went to the ER is the day I Skyped my parents, and I kind of told them about all this peeing that I was doing and all this water I was drinking. And my dad has type 1 diabetes. So he mentioned to me, those are the signs for diabetes. And my mom said, go check your blood sugar right now. I checked it. I didn't want to because I didn't want all this attention on, oh, Anne has diabetes. But I checked it and it said high. My mom looked it up. That means your blood sugar's over 600 at the moment. I said, oh, I'll just go on a run. Running will help bring the blood sugar down. About 3 laps in, my mom calls me. She said, you need to go to the ER right now. You can be heard. This is your chance. Because I wasn't being heard with that doctor that just kept having me come back for an A1C, which wasn't getting better and I wasn't getting any help. So she convinced me to go. We went. Their blood sugar reader said high as well. They took blood and then they figured out that it was a 782, the blood sugar. So it was 782, which, looking at all the other people that are diagnosed with type 1 diabetes, very similar situations where they have losing weight, peeing, drinking, all these things that lead to, a diagnosis of type 1 diabetes. I was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. Okay. I had so many questions. I was so confused with this diagnosis, but at least it was something. So they sent me home and I went to the doctor the next day. Lots of tears that day. The first thing he said when he came in was, I don't think this is type 2, this is type 1. He took a bunch of blood tests and determined a week later that it is type 1. Your pancreas is not producing enough insulin. He put me on insulin. He helped me get a pump. He's been really helpful. I'm honestly so grateful for this diagnosis, this answer to just the confusion I had for so long. This is the answer my body needed in order for me to live. So I am very grateful for it. Really, that's what keeps me going. That's what kind of keeps this in perspective for me. I want to live a full life. I want to do everything that anyone else could do, and I can. I just need to be careful about the decisions I make for my body. If I do manage it well, I will live a normal, fine life, and that will be great. I would love that. But I do want to thank just the people who have helped me move forward from the initial diagnosis. That's the scariest part, probably. And I also loved watching YouTube videos of people's diagnosis stories. So hopefully this one will help someone later. But if you do have questions about it, you can ask me. I'm very open about it. It's part of my life, so I like talking about it. And even though it's something that's always on my mind, I really am grateful to be alive and to be here. Thank you so much for watching. Bye. Say Dada.
Dada.
Mama.
Mama.
Chippy.
Chippy.
Ball.
Ball.
Car.
Car.
Truck.
Car.
Beep.
Beep.
What does the cow say?
Moo.
What does the duck say?
Go, go.
You're cute.
Cheese.
Hi, Milo.